And would you look at that? That is a fantastic site for XRP. It's had a good run to the upside and it has had some profits being taken. We spoke about this yesterday as we saw some profits getting taken. We saw some wallet counts kind of moving around a little bit. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump into the world of XRP again, take a look at what's going on, where we think things are heading next and all that great stuff. As I get into the video, if you find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And yeah, if you haven't joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. The link is in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. And if you are looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, then why not go ahead and check out the membership website? There's many different things up for grabs as a member. So you have everything from, where we think the prices are going on altcoins, where you can accumulate, all the way through to on-chain data, articles, videos that are for members only, whole host of reviews and various different things. So why not check that out if that's of interest to you? Let's jump right down into the world of XRP though, right? So what we'll do is we're going to start things off by taking a look right here. This is our weekly time frame. So XRP paired up with USDT, Binance as our data source. And as you can see, we wicked up to the 38.2% retracement or the 0.382, and we got rejected from it. Now this isn't a coincidence. This isn't anything terribly too unusual. If I bring up my daily time frame here, am I on the right one? No, I'm not. I think this one on the daily. Yeah, as you can see right here, we came right up into our target at 93.76. We actually came up a little bit higher on the Binance data. It went to 93.8 versus the 93.76, so it's a little out, but that's just Binance loving round numbers in my opinion. But you can see we hit our target range here. If I bring this back to our weekly, that's the 38.2% retracement there as well. So everything here for this move to the upside was kind of nice, kind of tied in with all of the areas that we were kind of talking about. It's about 100% move, 105 if we look at it here, for XRP. So it's had a really great run, and it's seen the profits getting taken. We've seen the move to the downside, and it's starting to cool off. However, the cooling off isn't really something that's finished. I think the initial pump to the upside is over, and now the reality is sinking in. Essentially, that there isn't really that much demand and that much liquidity in the crypto space, and I think the liquidity is going to continue to get grabbed out. We can see momentum hasn't really been on XRP's side since this move has occurred. So since XRP has been, I guess, not listed as or kind of communicated as not a security, but for the most part, as we can note here, that the judge saying that it's not a security for retail investors on the secondary markets or the exchanges has basically meant that the exchanges can list XRP, all those kind of things. But momentum hasn't really come back. So normally what we'd like to see under these kind of bullish scenarios would be that you'd have the great move to the upside, you'd have your profits getting taken, and that would be a big reset for your momentum indicators, but that's not so much the case. We're overbought on the monthly time frame. We're heading to overbought, but we actually have got growth on the weekly. We're already overbought on the daily, and we're already overbought on the hourly. So if I come back to my hourly chart here, all of this move to the downside, this little tiny move up here, this little bit here from our 50 EMA, has basically just gone from oversold to overbought in a 9% move, and so that basically tells us that we're not in the strongest position on the smaller time frames that we would like to be. We would like to see that in a little bit stronger. Now you can see here we found brief support right here on the 50 EMA and the equilibrium. That's great, but I'm not confident that that's going to last. I think we're going to come back down, and we might find ourselves with a change of characteristic to basically put us into a bearish state of play. It'll be interesting to see how those micro timeframes change, but we've got a couple of big fair value gaps that have been left behind here. Chances are we're going to come back and we're going to fill them out. It does mean that we hit our target range on our daily time frame, this one here, right? And so our next move unfortunately would be a more sizable daily move to the downside after hitting this target. Again, it can be a nice reset because we still are targeting out slightly higher ranges, of course, but for that to occur we need to see some healthy corrections as well. So we'll look for a move down. Looking at the 200-day daily EMA is a good potential support range. If this can climb up quite nicely with us here, we might be able to find brief support at this previous resistance range at around 58 cents. So expect a move down. I think nothing will move in straight lines, of course, but that's kind of my expectations. We'll be looking for a move downwards to kind of have a nice healthy correction, find good support in this previous area here, pretty much I'd say between 53 and 58 cents. That's going to be the targeted range, I think, to find support on. Coming back to our weekly, that's going to put us right down here, a little bit lower than the 0.236, just below the 60 cent level. You can kind of see there's an interesting zone right in here. Let me just go ahead and draw that on. In fact, I'll probably start all the way over here just to kind of show you a little bit more of the history of how this was previously a good area of support that were turned into resistance. So the idea, just like anything else, right, is that this was support. Okay, we turned it into support, right? We moved back down, we tested it again, and then of course we lost it. Once we lose it, we test it as resistance. We again come back down, find previous support. We tested it as resistance again. And again, just like we had here, where we had this little test and then a little rally before dropping, we had a little drop before we tested it and we broke upwards. So the next test here is essentially to come back down and find it as support so that we can then have that bullish turn and take it upwards. So it does make sense that we come down into this range where, you know, we talk about 53 to 58 cents, right? You can see it right in here as this previous area of support turned into resistance. Are we going to turn it back into support, right? So this is a key area in the history of XRP, right? So it's important that we kind of reflect on that on these weekly timeframes. It's going to be really hard for us to do micro analysis on XRP for another week or so, I would have thought. I think that's going to be quite difficult and quite tough to get anything accurate out of the hourly chart until structures are a little bit more I guess clear and a little bit more structured out. So just be a little bit cautious if you're looking to trade XRP. I personally am not looking to trade XRP at this point. You should have been in it already, as we were talking about for quite some time. It's better to have been in than not in. Hence, you know, talking about all these as being great accumulation zones and accumulation areas over the previous few weeks or so. And obviously I did luck out massively with my random buy order at 30 cents down here, where Binance wicked down and I was able to grab that back in January. Pure coincidental, right? You know, these are the things that Chris talks about quite a bit. It's like it's best to kind of, you know, put those orders in just in case price does wick down there. And in my particular case, I got in with a pretty sizable order down at 30 cents because I had that random buy order set there, which is, you know, great. Not everyone obviously had that opportunity, but dollar cost averaging in here and all around this zone would have been great for this move to the upside. And I think a lot of people in the community, in the Discord, have been able to kind of say that they've taken advantage of that, which is great to see. But do bear in mind, I'm not a financial advisor. I can't give you financial advice. All I can do is give you my thoughts and opinions on the data in the charts as I personally see it. And if you do have access to a financial advisor, you should probably consult one and see what they think about what's going on with the XRP market and whether or not you should or should not trade. Personally, I'm not trading XRP. I think there's opportunities elsewhere with more clear structures, and I much prefer to have more data at my disposal. When we see straight lines like this, makes me a little bit nervous. I do think though the move to the downside is where we're at, and anyone who was following the daily analysis, you know, potentially we're shorting from up here as well, and I think they've done incredibly well, right? And so they obviously seeing the targeted range here, shorting the market at that range with a nice tight stop loss that's probably now in the green. They've already seen very sizable 9.2 return risk reward ratio potentially on that. So, you know, there's lots of different ways of looking at this. End of structure reversals would have been a great short in trade opportunity. Obviously this happened much faster than expected, but you know, XRP's news broke, and then of course, you know, we saw that FOMO coming in. But I think the move is done. We should be starting to think about a nice healthy correction before we can then continue that move upwards upwards, because I do think our directional move for XRP is up, but you know, we need to appreciate that things have to kind of cool off as well from time to time. I think I'm going to leave the video right there. If you did find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you're looking for a little bit more from the crypto space, why not check out the membership website, membership.cheekycrypto.io. Some fantastic benefits for our members, everything from, as I said, the articles, the review, the write-ups, airdrops, all the way through to video content that's member only, data that is for XRP, Bitcoin, Cardano, Ethereum, and a whole host of fantastic benefits to be found in the Discord server for members as well. So why not check that out if that's of interest to you. Until the next one though, guys, have a fantastic day.
We are not financial advisors, and none of what we have communicated verbally or in writing here should be considered as financial advice. It is not. Do your own research before investing in any digital asset or affiliate offers, and understand that investing in any crypto is risky. If you do, you need to be prepared to lose your entire investment. This video is for information and entertainment purposes only. All our videos are strictly personal opinions. Please make sure you do your own research and never take our opinions for financial guidance. There are multiple strategies, and not all strategies fit all people. Our videos are not